Good morning, you lovely lot. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Dave Keefe. This is Avernus Piker Lifestyle. It's a very lovely Monday morning in Lancashire, which is very rare for this time of year, and we're going to be picking some orders. So let's get at it. So it's been a pretty healthy weekend of sales this weekend. A total of 26 orders for a total value of £727.77. As you can see from the pile behind me, I've already picked the orders. So what I'm going to do is strap the GoPro to my head and go through the orders, tell you how much I paid for it and how much it's sold for. Okay, so we're going to do these in reverse order of sales. The first one out was a massive one. You'll have seen me mention this in a video. This is probably one of the very few scenes that's actually worth picking up. This is Harry Potter, The Complete Cinematic Journey. There are a few other Harry Potter versions, but this one is absolutely the cream of the crop. It's new and sealed, but there's a bit of a puncture in the front of the box, which I mentioned on the listing. I paid just £2 for this game, and believe it or not, it's actually sold for $64.99. That's with free postage, and this looks like from the address that it's going to Australia. So this is absolutely, without question, one for your BOLO list. Harry Potter, Complete Cinematic Journey, seen it. Now these were a cheeky little charity shop pickup. It's quite nice actually. I've never seen this game before. It's got metal miniatures, the Star Wars X-Wings miniatures game. Not familiar with it, but charity shop pickup, like I say. Paid £3 for it, and it's going out for $22.90 plus $2.99 postage. Now I picked up a job lot of military clothing, the vast majority of which was new, but there's some like really good condition seconds as well. I paid, if memory serves, this was before I started recording how much I paid for things on my stocking system. So if memory serves, I paid around about £3 or £4 per garment. So call it a fiver for argument's sake, just to err on the safe side, and this is going out for $17.50 plus free postage. Now just recently I got a massive Hornby track bundle. It was obviously from a collection that had been dismantled, so I separated out all the track and I've been selling it piece by piece. These were two curved junction lengths on a 0 gauge. It's not necessarily something I would have bothered with, but this particular bundle, it came with some really fancy bits and buildings and a couple of electrical accessories that were worth decent money. But rather than chuck a big box of track away, I thought I'd just piece it out and see where it went. So it's been selling pretty steadily. Because I paid very little, I think I paid something like, say, £10 for the whole box of Hornby, and I'm already into a couple of £100 into profit because of the larger items. So this is all gravy. But I'll put a value of £2 on each bundle of track, just so I had a bottom goalie figure. And these track sections are going up for $18.99 plus $2.95 postage. I've got to carry a bag full of old tapes, and I'd heard that tapes are quite good sellers. It really was a massive bag of bits, maybe about 100 tapes. So during lockdown, when I had very little to list, I listed them all individually. They've been trickling out, not massive profit, but these tapes stand me at pennies a piece. This is Rod Stewart, When We Were the New Boy, unusually titled tape. Obviously a Rod Stewart fan, so I paid pennies for it, and this is going out for £2.90 free postage. That'll be 88p to send, so not massive profit, but like I say, at the time when I listed it, it was locked down, and there was I was scratching around for things to list anyway, to be fair. Now, from a video that you'll have seen a couple of weeks ago, I picked up a job lot of these Monopoly games. I have checked them, and they are kosher. I know there was a comment to say that there's a lot of hooky board games floating around just recently, but these are kosher. This is Pokemon Kanto Edition version of Monopoly. So I paid £10 each for all these board games, and this one's going abroad for $26.50 and free postage. That'll go GSP, so I just need to send it to the UK fulfillment centre for eBay. Standard pickup. These have actually come down in value quite a bit, but I'll still pick them up because they're bread and butter. This is Bugs in the Kitchen, stunning condition, all complete and all in good order. I'm not sure. No, this isn't one of the ones that I put an extra hex bug in. I think I've only got one of the new hex bugs that I picked up a load of left now. So if I ever come across a Bugs in the Kitchen without one, I'll add that to it. But this one is as it is. I paid £2 for it and actually sent an offers out on this. So this is going out for an unusual price of £11.10p plus £2.95 postage. Now this is a game I'd never seen before, but it was brand new, so obviously I was always going to check comps on it. I'm familiar with the brand tactic as far as games and such are concerned. So I checked it out and I paid £2 for it, new and sealed. And this is going out for £15.99 plus £2.90 postage. So a decent little return there. Now you may have noticed an absence of a video last weekend. It was an absolute washout. I went to the giant car boot again, but it was just one of those days where it just didn't go my way at all. I only got 4 pickups and they were low value with the exception of this. This is a G-Tech Multi K9. It's obviously a handheld Hoover. It's cordless, got the battery and whatnot. This came with a large item, the air ram, which is sort of like more of a standy-uppy kind of device. So I got both of them for £10. There was a problem with the brushes with the air ram, which it has already sold earlier in the week. So I sold it as spares or repairs, and that went for £40 plus postage. But this one, the Multi, obviously I put a value of £5 on it because I've split the value of the two items. And it's sold for £74.99 plus £8.95 postage. So a very, very healthy return on that. It's always well to, obviously clean him up as best you can. I did give this as a good a degunge as I can, but it's been well used. It doesn't stink, which is obviously a Brucey bonus, and it works. That's the main thing. That's what people are looking for. When it comes to big brands like G-Tech, like Dyson and things like that, it's worth, if the item is the right money, it's worth picking up anyway, because the parts sell really, really well as well. A lot of the hoses, the tools, the chargers, the batteries, the accessories, so on and so forth. So still consider picking them up even though they don't work. I'm not going to unpack this because it's a bit of a pain in the backside to pack. This is a complete waterproof suit for motorcycle riding from Lewis. Lewis is the brand. This is a really good quality one. I got this from a charity warehouse, but I've put a value of £3 on it, and that was sort of like there's no way I paid that as far as the breakdown of the whole job lot's concerned. And this is sold for £18.99 plus £2.90 postage. Now, cordless landline phones are always a bit of a staple for me. This is the Gigaset. The Gigaset are made by Siemens, which are a very well-known German brand. This is the Gigaset AS405 Duo. Both in there, both lovely condition. Everything all tested. I think, if memory serves, I put some new rechargeable batteries in one of the handsets because they were missing, but all complete, all tested. Paid £3 for them. I in fact believe I got these with another handsets as well, which are already sold, also Gigaset. And I paid £6 for both. So £3 for this set, and it's sold for £18.99 plus £2.95 postage. Now, I did say there's been some unusual sales this weekend, and this is probably one of the more unusual things I've sold. They call it a masthead lamp. It's a nautical thing. I believe it's off a ship. I'm not entirely sure whether this was originally made for decoration or whether it's actually seen some service. I don't know the history. I did give it a bit of a clean up. By the looks of it, I could have done with a bit more of a clean up, but hey ho. I paid £5 for this. I just fell in love with it. I thought it was really unusual, really cool. So I'm not entirely sure what the buyer's going to be using this for, but I think it'd look nice at a front door or something like that. It takes a bayonet fitting, a bit rusty and whatnot, but this was pictured in detail. Because it's such a quirky thing, I picked it up and I thought nothing ventured, nothing gained. I paid £5 for this, and it's been sold for £49.99 plus £6.99 postage. And staying within the UK, I'm not too concerned about any kind. It would be wrapped really, really well, but not too concerned about any kind of damage. This glass is massively thick, so I'll send that out with confidence. Again, more track section. Like I said, I put a value of £2 on all these track sections, even though it didn't cost me anywhere near that. Just sort of like as a baseline figure. And this is sold for £5.99 plus £1.95 postage. Now these were a supermarket pickup. Supermarket were having a bit of a clearance on these Nerf targets. I didn't expect them to sell as fast as they have actually. I was thought I might be sitting on them until Christmas. I paid £10 each for them, and I think I got about 18 of them or something like that. I sent a load into Amazon and they sold very, very quickly. The Amazon price was pretty comparable with eBay, so I thought I'd keep some back as well and maybe put the price up a bit on the way to Christmas. And these have sold for £23.49 plus free postage. Next up, Lord of the Rings Risk. This is a staple, not massive profit, but certainly one worth considering. Now, most Risk versions, most versions of the game Risk are worth having a look at. It's an extremely popular game, and there's lots and lots of different variations. So don't be afraid to have a look. Paid £3 for this, and it's been sold for $12.99 plus $3.99 postage. Now, quite a while ago, I got a load of Samsung remotes. I think the chap I bought them off on a car boot was a TV engineer or something like that, and he had an absolute boatload. I got something like 30 or 40 of these remotes, most in the packaging. They're all brand new. This one I've underpriced because it was missing the battery cover. I think I might have nicked that for another sale. But I listed it as having no battery cover but new, and this has been sold. So because of getting such a large bundle, I put just a pound cost price on these. But because it's missing its back cover, I listed it and it's sold for $4.99 plus $1.99 postage. Now these Wii games came with a Wii console. There was a console and probably somewhere in the region of 20 games. I've pulled out the decent value games to sell separately, and I've bundled the lower value games with the Wii. In fact, that's sold this weekend as well, which I'll come on to in a minute. I put a value of £2 each on these. The Lego Star Wars, this is the complete saga. That one sold for $5.99 plus free postage. That'll be probably just over 100 kilos, so around about £1.40 to post. And the other one is Batman the video game. The value I've put on of £2, and that sold for $4.99 plus free postage. With the video, this is one of the main reasons that I don't get involved in games and media very much, because it's a lot of effort for very, very little profit. But when I say I put a value of £2 on these, it's not been that much, because I more than made my money on the console sale. But it's very, very important to have a baseline figure to work from as far as your stocking system's concerned. Now this is an item that I've been sat on for quite some time. This is a photography lens for an old SLR camera. This one is a Tokina. You have to be very, very careful with lenses. Obviously you need to make sure that they're absolutely pristine condition, and the operations feel smooth, and ideally they've got the caps, no scratches on the lenses, no dust or grub inside. So be very careful when you're picking up, but they can be really, really good profit in them. This has been listed since the beginning of June. I put a value of £5 cost price on it, and it sold for $22.90 plus $3.90 postage. And I think that might be the last of that particular bundle of lenses. There's something like 8 or 9 lenses in the bundle, and I'm well into profit across the whole bundle. Now, as part of a charity warehouse haul from a few weeks ago, I picked up a big plastic bucket of watches. There was maybe, I'm guessing, around about 200 watches in this bundle, and I've just pieced them all out. I separated them all, most of which needed batteries or they needed straps. There was something wrong with them. So I've mentioned all this in the listing. All the ones that weren't complete, or the ones that were just faces, I've sold those. I've job lotted those out. But all the ones that were complete and either had a bit of life left in the battery or just little quirks, I listed them and in great detail and mentioned whatever the defect was. So there's no surprises when these land. They've been selling. I've been getting really good feedback because of that honesty as well. People have been loving these. This is one lot of maybe 30 lots, and well over half of these 30 lots have sold. They're all pretty fancy looking watches, like divers style watches and all that kind of stuff, but they're not high-end brands. I think these are just bought for the look of them rather than the functionality or the brand. Because I paid very, very little for them, and because of the number of lots involved, I put a value on each lot of £2, and that was overestimating again, because like I say, I'm well into profit already, and there was a lot of bundles there to be sold. This particular bundle of OTS watches, there's 4 of them, sold for $22.99 plus $2.95 postage. It was a pain in the backside to list all those, go through and list all those watches and check them all, but it was worth it. Something else that was on my set on until Christmas kind of pile. Fortnite, it's always good sell. It's been very, very popular game for a long time. These are quite often coming up on clearance sales in supermarkets. This is Fortnite Squad Mode, obviously an action figure set with accessories. Now these weren't the cheapest thing in the world to buy anyway. I think I got about half a dozen of them, paid £14 each for them. And these are being sold for $29.95 plus free postage. So there's profit in there. Nonetheless, I may well have bumped up the price by a couple of quid come the Christmas rush, but still steady away and still profit. Next up, a game that's always worth looking out for, Quirkle. This is from the Green Board Game Company. I think there might be a couple of different versions of this, and I do believe it's actually a German game as well. So watch out for that. The packaging all looks pretty similar across the different types of them anyway. Now this Quirkle, I paid up for it. Normally I'm paying £2 or £3 for these, but I paid £5 for this in lovely condition. It looks like it's had very little use. So £5, and it's being sold for $16.99 plus $2.95 postage. Now this is probably the best game for the week to be picking up, with one exception. There's a Disney princess that goes for silly money new, but as far as an absolutely safe bet's concerned, Mario Kart Wii, just the game on its own, just the disc on its own, it's also good money. But this one is a complete pack, steering wheel, game, manuals and whatnot. This came in as a bundle. I think it was a mate that was having a bit of a clear out, so I put a value of £3 on this, and it's been sold for $17.99 plus $2.95 postage. This was definitely one of the highlights of sales. I've been sat on this for a while. I picked this up from a car boot sale. It might have been the giant car boot sale at Berska. Now this was, I might as well have stolen this. I paid just £1 for this. This is a Tube MP3 Studio. It's to do with, it's a recording device for musicians. I don't pretend to know exactly what it does, but that's kind of the gist of what it does. So I paid £1 for this. It was brand new. The guy told me that it'd never been used. It wasn't even a defect. The only thing that I had to sort out was it only came with a US power adapter for it. So I sourced a UK 3-pin adapter for it, tested it, worked perfectly. So that £1 has turned into an $84.99 sale, and that's with free postage. But for that kind of margin, I'm really not going to grumble. This will still go out as a small parcel. So just $2.95 to post. A very, very healthy markup on that one. Now lastly, this is the Wii console I mentioned. Complete console, the wires and one controller with it. I've bundled Wii Sports Resort Pack with it and 4 other games. Really great condition. It'd been looked after. The only defect was a little bit of leakage in the battery compartment, which I cleaned up and I mentioned. It still worked, so there's no issues there. I put a value of £20 on this, and it's been sold for $44.95 plus $6.95 postage. Now the idea of today's video is to show you what you can be looking out for when you're out and about sourcing. Obviously there's some bolos in that lot, but don't be afraid of entertaining the low value items as well. Just recently I've been kind of falling into a bit of a trap where I'm concentrating too much on finding the higher value items, and as a result not finding very much. But at the end of the day, I have a business to run, I have bills to pay, so I can't be ignoring the lower value items as well. It's getting that fine balance between keeping everything ticking over and not investing too much time in something that's not going to generate the revenue. Now, if you found today's video useful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel, helps the spread of the love. If you're not already subscribed, click the subscribe button, the notification bell as well. If you click that, it'll give you a notification the next time I post videos up. Now all I have to do is get all this lot packaged up and off to the couriers and the post office. So I should bid you a fond farewell, and I will see you guys in the next video. Adios for now.